My name is Eric Willett. This is week 3 of SDI FTT 122, Intro to Ballistics and Ammunition. The difference between explosive and propellant is speed. It's defined by two rates of reaction and the type of reaction they produce. Explosives undergo a rapid speed burning where propellants burn at a controlled slow rate, defined as deflagration. Based off of my research this week, I'm going to go ahead and read what I wrote. First question is asking if the industry should make any changes to current propellants. I see this as an interesting question. Smokeless powder has been very effective and used for quite some time, but there's definitely questions regarding health issues and environmental issues with it. Lead exposure is probably one of the biggest concerns and issues that we see them bring up based off of issues with animals and the environment. So it's definitely a issue that we see in this industry with what's currently being used. But it's kind of at the point of, if it works really well, why change it? But there's definitely more and more changes coming. Then we talk about what could be used instead. There is tons of different types of repellent that have been looked at. There's also electronic thermal chemicals, C120, options for different types of gases and other propellants that they're currently doing research on. So yeah, I would definitely say that there's other options that are out there. I don't see them coming anytime in the future, but I'm sure we're going to see some changes. But once again, like I said, with this old school producing, the way it's being produced, why change what's not broke? Let's talk about primers. We were asked to talk about the battery cup, the Berdan primer, and the Boxer primer, and draw them out and talk about them. So we're going to go ahead and start with the battery cup. So the battery cup is used in most of your shot shells and your muzzle loaders. It has a body diameter of 209 inches. That's why it's known as the 209 primer. This is one of the most popular primers used in reloading today. It's a smaller cup primer that sits inside of a larger cup, and it has its own flash hole. It utilizes two legs that actually butt against the inside of the outer cup. And the purpose of this is it doesn't utilize a flash hole with a floor or a flash hole inside, and it is very easy to remove and for reloading purposes. All in all, it's basically a simplified primer that's put together in a couple pieces and doesn't have a internal flash hole inside of the primer. So yeah, it's one of your most commonly used for reloading and simplification. Now we'll talk about the Berdan and the Boxer. So to my left is the Berdan primer. This is a standard primer that's used in Europe and Asia and most of the world. It consists of a cup that sits inside. It is based off of a cup with the primer and the compound and either foil or paper. It's a very simple system. It's got its own integrated amble, and it has two flash holes. This primer is a very cost-efficient primer, and that's why most places use it. Then we're going to go ahead and talk about the Boxer primer. This is the most standard used primer in the US. This cup is set up as a cup system with a pyramid-shaped amble, primary compound, foil, and or paper. The primer sits inside of a cup that utilizes a center-located flash hole. The drawbacks of this setup is it's very expensive and it's definitely not efficient. So a lot of other countries choose not to use it, but here in the US we do. So that concludes my research this week, and I hope you have a good week. Thank you.